Hey guys, how are you? It's about 5:20 in Chicago. Futures are back open for about 20 minutes. We had a pretty interesting close, so I got a few things to talk to you about. We're going to take a look at the close today. I think it was very important. We came back strongly into the close, and it's quite encouraging for tomorrow. Then we'll take a look at the counts a little bit in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and some of the others. I'm going to go through them briefly because you might already know them. Then we'll take a look at a couple of stocks that we own and the ones that are in the portfolio, kind of how they look, how they're behaving. I want to show you something I've been working on earlier today that's going to be posted later on tonight as part of the Wide Awake part on the Elliott Wave Cafe Pro. And then I want to take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe even ADA, because I think there's some movement in there, not necessarily in Bitcoin, but in some of the alts. So let's get started here. I'm going to take this out and let me jump straight on. So that's Bitcoin up. But I was going to go, so I finished over with the futures. I was going to go over and take a look at the S&P 500 at the count. So remember, we're looking at this as being a wave 1 and a wave 2 with another 1 and another 2. And I think that wave 2 probably finished up today. So if that's correct, then overnight and into tomorrow, we should probably try to break above 4,425. We'll see. Listen, I think the month of April, it's a pretty bullish month for stocks in general. So we're finishing off this in about a couple of days, and I'm expecting this market to move higher. That's my expectation. Hopefully it turns out right. But, so far, these counts have been kind of working. Like, that leading diagonal with the wave 2 pullback that we were watching for it. Then we got the reaction out of there. Now we're getting a bit of a pullback. So we're kind of trying to stay step by step with this market and see what happens. Here is the other look. Then the NASDAQ 100. And this one's so lower, which I think it makes this as a wave 1. And it probably did an ABC today. So I'm going to update all of this later on tonight. But I just kind of want to show you really quickly. Same for the Dow Jones. We probably pulled back a little bit on here, but we're looking for this trend line to break and a move to the upside. And then, the US dollar was even weaker today. I'm still expecting this move higher, which hasn't happened yet. And then gold, I think it's doing this. It might be doing this in a fourth and a final fifth wave, and then a sell-off. That's kind of what I think is happening in gold. And, silver, it's in a big resistance. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin. So let me quickly jump over to, maybe we can kind of see some updates. So here is, the futures. Yes. So this is the wave 2 that we probably finished off today. So that would be nice. And now we're looking to see, because I put this as a next alternate just in case this wave 2 will extend lower. So if that's correct, 1, 2, we should overtake this high and push higher even above this high. That's what I want to see. I think that would encourage a lot more buying into this market. 54, this is a massive base, almost like a cup and handle type formation, and this has the potential to really, really rip to the upside. I mean, it's not a super volatile stock, but once it starts trending, I think I'll try to stay with this momentum as long as possible. We'll see, continue to kind of trail maybe below some of these daily closes and continue to push to the upside, hopefully. Another one that we added today was TJX. So this is a major retailer. And it's been coming nice to the moving average in here, just kind of testing it. And again, back into this horizontal support. I think it looks pretty good. I think that might be a 1, 2, 1, 2. Out of here with the 3, 4, and 5, 4, and 5. So, I think it's a buyback towards a pretty decent value in this guy. And if we're right, maybe we can ride it above these 83 levels. So, we'll see. The moment we close below this line and we start to kind of mess around with it, I think I want to get out. But for right now, I think I kind of like it, and I'll try to hang on to it. Called the importance of relative strength. Now, I talked about this thing many times in previous videos and up there on Telegram through all kind of, maybe sometimes we had live streams that I presented this for you guys, but I'm trying to put it into a PDF format so you can, relate to it every time you want to kind of, see what this is all about, or just to kind of, refer back to some of these ratios. So I'll go to them really quickly, but basically, there's a little bit of a description of what's going on, I think it's important. You can go through it and see what the goal is and kind of what it means. And then you can see in here examples of relative strength. Basically at the bottom you have versus the S&P 500, the absolute versus relative, and kind of how they matter to each other, because every time, you're getting divergences between these two, that's the stock telling you something, right? So if you're at the bottom and relative strength starts improving and the stock goes down, then it's probably time to pay attention, time to buy. If you're somewhere at the top and the stock continues to make new highs, but the relative strength starts to drop versus the S&P 500, that it's time to kind of ease off, take some profits, stuff like that. So I like to put them on the same chart because you can get a quick visual of it. You can use it, maybe in TradingView too, in a different panel, maybe, overlay them on top of each other, create some kind of a ratio between the two. But it's a good thing to kind of know and have Bitcoin. So, in Bitcoin, there's not really a whole lot to talk about because you've seen, even yesterday I talked about it, right? We're still waiting for this correction in here. Is it over? I think it's still very short. Could be. It's a very tough one. It's like it's hard for me to get bullish, right here after this little bit of a pullback. I mean, we bought Ethereum, we own Ethereum because I think that had a better kind of setup the way it was looking. In Bitcoin, I would like to get it maybe more towards 25 and maybe a little bit on a, on a deeper pullback, or at least give this thing some time to still continue to unfold down. But there's none to say that this could not be a wave too if the market is strong and then you're pushing higher. I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, the only thing that kind of makes me think it's possible is if the stock market starts to push, and then the NASDAQ rips to the upside and the rest of the markets, then I think Bitcoin was not going to get left behind. Or maybe Bitcoin, it is signaling that we're still in a period of still waiting for another couple of weeks in here until this correction kind of run its course. But again, I don't have a strong visibility here with this pullback. So it might go higher, might do like an A, B down in C, like just like this thing here, maybe a little bit of a flat, fool everybody above 29. Oh my goodness, you're breaking higher, and then do a flat, and then go back to the upside. But what I like, it's for example ADA in here. Remember, we've been watching this guy create that inverted head and shoulder in ADA. Where are you? I think it's right here. This guy, right? I mean, we've been on it since, these highs were reached in here, and we've talked about, hey, what if this happens? Build the right shoulder. Well, they build it. Okay, and now we're coming back. That's the neckline. I don't know. I think there's a huge, pretty decent chance that this guy, this is the base in ADA, and we're going to be pushing higher. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, if you want to wait until this thing gets taken out and then maybe do a retest, right? It's every gimmy's got a gotcha. You gotta make a decision in terms of risk. If you want to enter now or after it breaks, depending on your risk tolerance. But this is a nice pullback into the 61.8. I mean, what else do you ask for? This is not yet looking, let's say, super impulsive. Maybe that's just B, and then we're gonna get a C, and then we go. But the pattern, the pattern overall here, I like it. Think, right, Ethereum, look at this. Broke, check back. We checked back on this trend line, on this horizontal line that we broke, right? We long from 1800. So I took the guts to go long in Ethereum, and I'm not taking the guts to get long in Bitcoin. I would just double my risk for sure, right? I mean, if I'm long one, unless the Ethereum Bitcoin cross really explodes in favor of one or the other, which I don't think so. But, that's how it is with these cryptos. You own one, now I have my risk, right? Now I put another one on, now I have more risk. Now if I put another one, I have more risk and more risk and more risk until, it's out through my ears. So, I don't know. I think, I know there's a lot of coins out there, and that's why, maybe I don't talk as much about, because they're all pretty much the same. And unless you're really digging down into finding the little ones, and, I'm not playing that game. But, again, if Ethereum moves, I think they're all going to move. And I like this check of this, and that's what I want. Remember when we were talking about, when I've done the little article about the horizontal lines? when you break, you want this to hold. And if it does, you know, then you want this to continue to go, and then you have another level and another level, and that's how you develop a trend to the upside. If you break below here, then it gets ugly, because then you can come back and check back on 200-day moving average. And that kind of changes the picture a little bit in here. So I want Ethereum to hold these levels and not break. Guys, what I'm going to do now, it's about 5:46. I'm going to finish off this coffee. I'm going to go again for a walk. Then I'll have some dinner, and then we'll get on writing. What am I watching? I'm watching Perry Mason on was it on HBO? I think, yeah. I just looked at there's the new series, not the new series, is the last Succession. It came on with the last I think it's the last season. Kind of like that one. Yeah, Perry Mason is pretty good. But my list, if you should see my list on Apple TV and on the other ones, they're just like, shh, I can't catch up with everything. I'm doing too much work here. So, alright guys, I will leave it at that. I'll talk to you